What is up, everybody? Welcome to Find Your Weird. I'm Patrick Galactic, and we're fucking back, baby! Yeah, feels good. Feels good to be live for the first time in 3 weeks. Holy shit! That is crazy. That is crazy. And it was a crazy busy time for moi. For moi. Alex FV says, my hair is getting very long, and that is correct. That is true. I'm actually going to get a haircut fairly soon. I've just noticed a few people making comments, like Better Kitty Meow, who is sick and couldn't be with us tonight, who's like, wow, your hair's getting kind of long, you know? Getting kind of long. What up, Thaveron is in the house! Oh my god! Thaveron is with us! Hell yes! Hello, Thaveron, one of our most featured artists here on the Weird at Night channel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for popping in. Yeah, so as I said, it's our first episode back in 3 weeks, and I am so stoked. If you're new, the most important part of Find Your Weird is that it's an unformatted kind of just free-for-all. We all just kind of chat. I ask you questions. You can ask me questions. We can, we can really come together. Naomi's in the house. What up, Naomi? Who is resubscribed for 30 months and is on a 30-month streak. Oh my god, we're close to a hype train. Alex FV also resubscribed she has now subscribed for 33 consecutive months. Unbelievable. And while we had the little pre-show warm-up here, Alex shared that she is just finished their outline for their big capstone project for school and is almost done. Oh my god, that is so fucking cool. I cannot believe it. Alex FV, who has been in school now for quite a long time. Alex, share with us how long you've been working on this degree while working at the same time. 10 years. 10 fucking years. I definitely would have given up by now. So big hats off to you. Big hats off to you, Alex FV. Oh my god. That is absolutely incredible. And on a similar note, during our little break, I checked the mail one day, which I do about, once every 3 weeks or so. And what should be in there but this little package from Highline College. What should be inside? My fucking diploma. That's correct. That's right. Your softly burning boy is officially a college graduate now, looking into the grand abyss of the job market. It's very scary times to imagine myself actually becoming the person I've imagined myself being this whole time, but that's how I know I'm on the right track, damn it. Seriously, it's a trip to let go of who I've been and embrace who I'm becoming, but it's absolutely worth it. In fact, I have a quote about this very thing. Sticking with that uncertainty, getting the knack of relaxing in the midst of chaos, learning not to panic. This is The Spiritual Path by Pema Chodron, who I will probably say her name incorrectly, but a writer who I've been doing a fair amount of reading, and absolutely the book, Finding Peace in Uncertainty, maybe that's the title, has really changed my life. It's absolutely amazing stuff. Thank you everyone for the congratulations. Thank you Thaveron, Alex FV, Naomi, Baomi, Faomi, Blazing Space, Dartone the Third. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's a really exciting time, uncertain time, not always clear cut how it's gonna go, but super excited. And that uncertainty is really the only thing that's true in this life, is we don't have as much control as we try to imagine we do, at least as much as I try to imagine I do. And that's been something I've really been working on this last year, is trying to find more peace with that uncertainty. But speaking of dwelling in chaos without freaking out, we have a brand new episode of Weird at Night for the first time in 3 weeks this Saturday. And last we saw, the Barefoot Messiah was plotting to arm his army of shoes in order to make Noirland and Steve Germany pay. Yikes! You might notice on this poster, courtesy of the Infinite One, Blazing Space, that we have a new text logo, which I really like. I think it kind of captures our vibe really well. And you could get a little bigger peek at it. You'll be able to see this much better on Saturday, I can promise you that. But I love the vibe of it. I'm gonna spiff it up a bit before Saturday, make it a little flashier, but I feel like it captures the vibe of what we do here, the very best of any logo we've had so far. It'll be easier to see on Saturday, I assure you. But that is the kind of insider shit you get here when you tune in to Find Your Weird every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Pacific. We'll be back every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Pacific, just like I said, and I'm gonna say it again, 10 p.m. Pacific every Tuesday. Also Saturdays at 10 p.m. Pacific, we do Weird at Night. Thank you, Naomi Bayomi likes the logo. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And as I said, we have a new one that'll be overhead this Saturday, as well as some new looks for Weird at Night. And speaking of Weird at Night, and speaking of uncertainty, and speaking of change, one thing I realized during our little break, and Blaze of Space and I talked, and I was kind of nervous to bring it up, and then we had that moment where we realized we both kind of wanted the exact same thing. I want to chill the show out just a bit, maybe not quite the constant deluge of videos. I want to make the videos we show matter just a bit more, have a little more discussion about what we're showing you, and talk about the creative process a bit more. Weird at Night started as a show to discuss creativity and encourage creativity, and I want to get back to our roots, and that starts this Saturday. I'm really stoked. So a little less video, but every video we show, we're going to actually have a real discussion about, and I'm really, really excited about it. Evolution is constant, friends. It's all we have is change. And so I'm very excited to reimagine Weird at Night just a little teeny tiny bit. We'll still have those amazing animations. We're still going to have our crazy cast of characters, but it's going to be just a little different, But speaking of the Barefoot Messiah, we have some big story culminations coming up this Saturday. So in order to catch you up, I thought it might be kind of cool to revisit where we left off. So, as I said, the Barefoot Messiah is arming an army of shoes with lethal weapons they've obtained from Bang Bang Butterfly, the gun safety butterfly. Thank you, Alex FMV, for moderating the chat. But this is how we found out.
Yes, I can lift over 50 pounds. Oh God. Where are we going?
The streets of Noirland smell just like they used to. Smells fishy. And one word is in the mouths of every detective in Noirland PD. A word that was first born as a working title. A word that became a machine. A word that I used to name the double knot special I tie my laces with each and every day. The word echoes through these streets. Utopian. 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 She got away. Stolen during the trial of Dartone, while the entire city was focused on justice. Someone was stealing Utopian. It couldn't have been Dartone. He was getting murdered and unmurdered at the time. I would suspect the Goblin Bird, but they were making a deal with Dante to normalize the climate within the Winiverse. It must be a mystery. Mysteries are what I do. I get to the bottom of them. I sniff out questions and I ask more. Answers happen to me, but I don't know how. It reminds me of a pair of soft shoe yellow heels. The left shoe was missing, and I could never find the right suspect. It seems someone had called my client before I had arrived, presented themselves as me, said they were finding lost shoes. That's my beat, Jack. I never did find that heel. But who was the other shoe detective? Who placed that call? Was it Tony Japan? Could it have been my doppelganger all along? One step ahead of me, finding the shoes, stealing Utopian. But why? Why the fuck would Tony Japan do this?
What's in there?
That's not something you need to concern yourself with. The less you know, the better, mate.
You make it sound like it's something dangerous.
Truth of it is, you better play it sick with me. If the monocle bear catches you snooping about, there's no telling how far he might fry your brains. You could be barefoot for life. Now come on. We've got to hurry. The Barefoot Messiah has called everyone together for a team meeting. Oi, attention please, but where? I give you our fearless leader, an inspirational conspirator, the Barefoot Messiah!
God damn it, Frank! I appreciate a theatrical entrance, but that overkill on the smoke machine.
Noted, me lord. Less smoke machines.
Hello, and thank everyone for attending the meeting. The plan is a bit complicated, but I just want you to make sure that we get off on the right foot. You should laugh at that. Frank, who is that?
That is Tony. Tony Japan, me lord.
Who the fuck is Tony Japan? A doppelganger of Germany? Interesting. That could be useful. Good work. Will everyone here pay close attention? Especially you, Tony Japan. We're going to save Norland. Once and for all. Bang Bang Butterfly, the gun sciences specialist, has provided us with necessary firepower. Louis, the strange dog who owns the local waterhole, has provided us with cash. I prepared the path for us to rule the entire Waniverse. And you will walk in the path with me. And we will step on anyone who gets in our way. Any questions?
I feel morally conflicted, my lord. We exist to protect the fate of Noirland. It doesn't seem fair for us to step on their rights, does it? If some of them don't believe, don't we have to respect that?
You need to respect me. You need to respect the plan. The feet of this city has walked on us for a few months. We've been working underground to bring their dreams to life while they ignorantly stepped on our heads. They walked on you first. They ran into the streets and killed your parents.
Why? What did he say? What?
Parents.
What? Huh? Killed his parents.
They deserve whatever it is we bring to them. And I expect every piece of footwear of Tony Japan, or whatever the fuck they want to call themselves, get in the line. Muscular Bear, please make my point clear for anyone else who doesn't understand.
Yes, Messiah. We will do what you ask. Our barefoot leader is right. Noirland must pay.
The shoe
detectives must pay. Oi, oi, oi.
That's more like it. Move out. Not you, Monocle Bear. I need to see you in my office.
Well, whew, that's kind of where we left off, and there's a little more that we found out about the Barefoot Messiah. Ooh, yeah. Davron says this WAN lore. Davron, you have so much to ingest. But while we're on the topic of Thavron and other people who've been featured here on Weird at Night, I want to put the call out. If you've been on Weird at Night or you want to be on Weird at Night, you absolutely can, my friends. If you make music, if you're a poet, a painter, a dancer, if you do drag, if you do comedy, sketch comedy, short films, animations, literature, send an email to weirdatnight@gmail.com or hit us up on our Discord. That's bit.ly/WANDiscord. And let us know what you're up to. We want to feature members of our community as much as possible. It's a lot of fun. And also, we do a lot of collaboration. We've done a lot of collaboration. I have collaborated more in the last few years with people from all over the country than I ever have in my entire life. And I've been doing creative stuff for like 25 years. So really, hit us up. Let your people know. I'm going to be putting this little video here on Instagram tomorrow. And please put it in your story. Do whatever. Let people know. Because ultimately, that's what we're about, baby. We're about the creative process. We're about that. Yeah, that's what we're about. So yeah, the talking shoes, pretty crazy, right? Dartone the Third says, I hear Tony Japan works as a BetterHelp kind of therapist, and he very cleverly said, sounds like worser help to me. Yeah. Alex said the feet kill me. Blazing Space said soon every marketing firm will have a monocle bear, which could happen basically if these plans come to fruition. The monocle bear is kind of on the rise. It's a little terrifying, and you know, the monocle bear is really just after notoriety. I've been wondering what the monocle bear's motivations are this entire time, and it turns out the monocle bear really just wants to be famous. What the hell? What the fuck? And Sexual Corn says, big feet, big steps. That's yeah. Yes. So, what's everybody been up to? What have y'all been doing the last 3 weeks? I have been very out of the loop, but drop it in the chat. I'd love to know more. And I got another question for you. Oh my God, Euphony of the Month is in the chat with us, everybody. Oh, hell, Euphony of the Month. Thank you for joining us, friend. Good to see you in the chat. Good to see all of you here tonight. Great stuff. Euphony of the Month says feet, and then says yellow. Wow. Wow. Well, I got our first question of the night for you. And other than how are you doing? What have you been up to? Do you want to tell the world what you've been up to? Alex FMV just says so much schoolwork. So much. Yes. I have ascertained that. And I'd love to know what the rest of you have been up to. But while you're thinking about that, think about this. What movie or show have you rewatched the most times? What movie or television show have you rewatched the most times? Now, this is easy for me, okay? It's either Godfather 1 or Godfather 2, followed by like a considerable margin by The Usual Suspects, okay? It's funny because I've not watched any of those movies in many years, but I fell in love with them as a teenager. And the first two Godfather movies, the only two Godfather movies, Godfather 3, is not recognized in my household, were so gripping to me as a kid. Al Pacino is absolutely mesmerizing in those movies, and Marlon Brando as Don Corleone is amazing. It's funny to think about now, because mob guys absolutely do not talk like the people in these movies, okay? I loved how it was a running bit in The Sopranos. Everyone in that show loves the movies because they make them look so much more Shakespearean. But yes, if William Shakespeare wrote a mob movie, it would be Godfather 1 and 2. The Usual Suspects was more like a moment in time. The big swerve at the end was super exciting at the time, but it's been copied so many times now, and I'm very done with Kevin Spacey in general. So there's a very little chance I'd watch it now, and even if I did, it would probably feel a little cliche and boring. But I will say it was super innovative at the time. Me and my friends were like, "Ooh, let's see if we can decode this." And it does have that Sixth Sense kind of thing where the more you watch it, the less you like it. That's what I would strongly caution you against watching it very many times. I asked what you've been up to. Sexual Corn says, I've been up to nefariously staring out the window at strangers. Menacingly. 0-0. Made a delicious stew, Blazing Space says. And Blazing Space says, what have they rewatched the most times? What has Blazing Space rewatched? Answer, 8.5, which I have watched with Blazing Space. It was the one time I saw that movie, which is Federico Fellini, a masterpiece, an absolute masterpiece of surreal cinema. 8.5 Watched it with Blazing Space a few years back, and have never forgotten it. It's an amazing, amazing film. And then Groundhog Day, which, you know, very appropriate for watching and rewatching it. Very appropriate, Blazing Space. Alex FFV says Empire Records, Interview with the Vampire, Gilmore Girls, Friends, and Dawson's Creek. I've seen an Interview with the Vampire once. I've seen Empire Records once. I've never watched Gilmore Girls. I regret that I've ever watched Friends. I've never watched Dawson's Creek. But hey, we all have our own tastes here. We all have our own tastes. Don't at me. Naomi Baomi Faomi, I've done some contract graphic design work for Northwest Folklife over the last few weeks, and it looks like I'll be doing work for them most weeks from now till the festival. Yay, 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 yay. That is awesome, Naomi. That is amazing. That is super cool. Yeah, that is absolutely amazing stuff. Congratulations. Euphony of the Month says Twin Peaks is my most watched show. Agreed. I would second that. MASH is a close second. Wow. I probably saw a ton of MASH when I was a little kid. I just didn't know what the hell was happening. I just thought Alan Alda was really funny. And, but yeah. Sexual Corn says the most rewatched movie was probably People Watching on the Subway in New York City. Never a dull moment. Thaveron says, I've been taking it super easy the last 3 weeks. These next few months are going to be pretty eventful because I'm rolling out my new EP. Hell yeah. Also, I rewatched Gone Girl the most, but recently, Francis. Very exciting about the new EP, Thaveron. Please keep me in the loop because you know I'm going to share that shit. Thaveron, absolutely one of our favorite artists here on the Weird at Night channel of shows and family of presentations. Dartone the Third. I've been throwing rocks at lawyers' houses. I have probably watched 30 Rock the most after TNG, which is the best show ever. Fight me! Alex FV says Schitt's Creek is getting up there, but hasn't been out for 20 years, so not up to the other ones yet. Naomi Baomi says, been a long time since I rewatched things, but back in the day, Princess Bride and Lord of the Rings movies and Moulin Rouge. Naomi, I'm very glad you brought up Princess Bride because when I was a kid, we had that movie on VHS. And this was, I'm old, okay? I'm old, gradually slipping into irrelevance. But back in the day, when you owned a VHS, you didn't own like a ton of movies. There was no streaming. There was no fucking internet. So my brother and I would just watch and rewatch and rewatch and rewatch. Honestly, I might have seen Princess Bride more than any other movie. It's so good, and it just holds up. It is, honestly, as the older I get, the more I feel like that's one of the best movies ever made. Princess Bride is incredible. So yes, I rewatched that movie a ton. I think I've only seen The Lord of the Rings, each one of them, once. Actually, the third one I've seen twice because the first time I fell asleep in the movie theater watching it. Not a reflection of the movie. I was just very tired that day. I have seen Moulin Rouge a number of times as well. Tartone the Third says Princess Bride should be shown in schools. I agree. It's really a comedy masterpiece. It's kind of got that surreal comedy element to it because it's so fantastical. But it also it makes such a potent and powerful emotional connection. Just love it. Absolutely fantastic. Plus, Andre the fucking Giant is in that goddamn movie. Andre the fucking Giant, and he's great. You can't understand a fucking word he says, and that's the best part. Fezzik. All right. Naomi Family says, you keep saying that word. I don't think it means what you think it means. Yes. Anybody want a peanut? Yes. Very good stuff, everybody. Very good stuff. I'm here with a bunch of Princess Bride fans, which makes me feel even better. I knew I was in good company. What we found in the last episode of Weird at Night was that we're all really gross because all of us have some version of the 5-second rule that we observe. All of us do. And a lot of us hated doing chores. So, we're disgusting and creative people. And I think that's a very good thing to be. Yeah. So, very good stuff. Very good stuff. Thank you, Thaveron, for the follow. I'm going to sing you a little tune here in just a little bit. Let's go to hell. I'm a little out of practice. Hey, and while we're in hell, maybe I should serenade us, shall I? Inconceivable! Inconceivable. All right, I'm going to play you a song I haven't actually played even in my own presence in months. So I'm sure that'll go great. Hello, below, don't go. I'll be the blood beneath your face. Answers will come in time. I'd say the truth is come to change. I was broken by the grind of the game. Isolated, lonely, hungry for fame. Just a tragic life that couldn't be said. You went in so easy. Yeah. Broken, you're broken old, you're 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 broken. Yeah. So I say to you, enough is enough. I won't linger in the absence of trust. So I leave you to your murderous lust. Everything is easy. Yeah. Broken, you're broken old, you're 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 broken. Yeah. I fed the dogs, I think they're gonna be okay. Yes. That song is called Hello Below and was on my last EP released 3 years ago. Right, the month before the pandemic started. Yeah. Good times. Now, thank you all so much for the support. Naomi Family says, sometimes I rewatch Moulin Rouge and just stop it early and pretend it has a happy ending. Not a bad strategy, honestly. Not a bad strategy at all. So I asked what y'all have been up to, and here's what I've been up to. This is my patrickmakesmedia.com website that I am currently designing in the hopes of getting some freelance work. And I had to make a reel of my film editing crap. So this was my first stab at that. And then commercial video projects. Man, this is tough. Examples of process. And you can kind of click around on that. And then look down here. Still got to give a little love to Weird at Night, baby, because it's so much of what we do here and so much of what I do that, still got to give it the love. But Stay tuned. Also, I'm on social media. Specifically right now, Instagram is Patrick Makes Media. Give me a follow because I'll probably follow you just otherwise anyway. And if you don't follow me back, I might cry. You know, I'm getting older. I'm getting a little more sentimental. I might be moved to tears. But yeah, so that's what I was working on. That was one thing I was working on. I was working on a reel. I was working on all this stuff. And it you know, it's fun work, but damn, kicks my ass. All right. So I got another question for y'all. What is the dumbest way you've been hurt? What is the dumbest way you've been hurt? And this can be physical or emotional pain, depending on how much you want to reveal. It's really at your discretion. Sexual Corn says video editing is its own sort of tedium. Yes, it is. Dartone asks, if you cry, can I lick the tears? No, you cannot. Although I know you're in my closet, just like you always are. The story I'm going to tell. Alex Heaven has quite a story about a dumb way that she was hurt. Which we can revisit if you really want to, but I think I've told it. It's on Instagram. I mean, I think people know. Okay, Alex, you've had your little, you're not a vampire. All right. But mine was physical pain, and it's fucking stupid. Okay. When I was a lad, maybe 16, I was doing the dishes, and there was like a teeny tiny little piece of like noodle or something on a spoon, and my dad was adamant that you don't put things in the dishwasher with any kind of residue on them, okay? The dishwasher is strictly for sanitizing, not scrubbing. So I tried to use a sponge to get this piece of noodle off this spoon. No go. So I figured, fuck it. I'll just scrape it off with my fingernail, right? Like any, I already told you I'm gross. So, this thing shot directly under my fingernail. This little piece of whatever the hell it was shot right under my fingernail and immediately caused like unimaginable pain. I tried to walk it off. I kind of waited for it to stop hurting. It never stopped hurting. I'm not kidding. It hurt so bad. I spent hours trying to get it out. I was trying to put a penny under my fingernail. It hurt so bad that eventually I used a safety pin under my fingernail to try and scrape it out and just cut the shit out of myself and did not get it out. So after hours, I finally tell my dad, like, Dad, this really hurts. Oh my God. And he looks at me like I'm absolutely fucking insane because the story is batshit. And then after trying to think it through with me for a little bit, he finally takes me to the emergency room. He was super annoyed. And I'm not shitting you. They had to heavily sedate me. They brought in this huge clamp machine and cut a square out of my fingernail and finally got it out. There was blood everywhere. It took weeks to heal, all because of a piece of noodle. How about that, huh? Yeah. No, that's a true story. That really did happen. And it was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. So for all of you who are still with me, after that disgusting story, I'm going to read the other people's answers. Sexual Corn says, dumbest way I've been hurt is someone took all the tasty bits out of my cereal before I could eat it. Before I could eat it or even got milk in it, removing the one moment of joy before I had to get to the bus to school. Good God. I thought I might have topped everybody on this one. Okay, I thought I might have, but Sexual Corn, that's horrific. My heart kind of exploded in my chest while I was reading it. I'm so sorry. What kind of cereal was it? I mean, was it Lucky Charms? Because that's egregious. I am so sorry. Alex Evan V, another stupid way I've been hurt is when I was not aware of how handbrakes on my new bike worked, and I went flippy flop over the top of the bike, going flippy with me, and then suddenly it was on top of me. Oh my God. Euphony of the Month says, and to this day, you won't eat pasta. No, I eat pasta a lot. I love pasta. I love specifically Italian pasta. I am just like a fiend. Like just no protein whatsoever in a meal is my kind of meal. Okay, just give me all the carbs, baby. All the carbs. Dartone the Third says, I got a gold German Armed Forces badge when I was in Iraq. Look it up later. It's cool looking. I basically fucked up my right knee. Emotionally, I was engaged 3 times before 24. Ugh. Bad ideas. Friendo. I was married at 24. I completely understand. Sexual Corn says, the cereal. It was like wheat flakes with granola bits that had chocolate in them. Day ruined. To this day. Say no more. I completely understand. Okay. Well, while you're thinking about me with a piece of dried noodle underneath my fingernails, poking it with a safety pin, why don't we watch a music video? This is from Kimberly Henninger and Sean Park. I showed this on Weird at Night a little while ago. And I really, really liked it. This track is called Wolves, and it's very good stuff. And Sean Henninger just so happens, or Sean Park, I apologize. Kimberly Henninger and Sean Park. Sean Park just so happens to be Hidden Histories, who co-hosts with Spaceship Trucker, who we know as somebody who has rated this channel many, many times and is a proud member of our community. So hats off to you. Here's Henninger and Park. This is called Wolves. That was Kimberly Henninger and Sean Park. That track is called Wolves. And yeah, very cool stuff. Love the music video. And Sexual Corn pointed out, I'm liking what the bass player is doing. That really thumpy, dancey bass part really kind of makes the whole thing pop in this like kind of unexpected way. Very, very cool stuff. Very, very cool stuff. Naomi Baomi Faomi says, well, I suppose getting married at age 19 was a really slow motion dumb way of being hurt. Shake my head. The infinite wisdom of being 19, which is, you know, a whole year older than 18, aka very adult-like. Yes. No, I absolutely recognize that. As I said earlier, I got married when I was 24, and I might as well have been 12. I mean, emotionally. I absolutely a terrible idea. I don't know why anybody would even consider it before the age of 30. Yeah. Sexual Corn talking about that track says smooth to funkish transitions. I totally agree. I loved it. Okay, so as I said, this Saturday, we got a big culmination. The Bird, the Devil, and the Time Machine on Weird at Night. This Saturday, April Fool's Day, kind of the most appropriate time for us to come back, right? We got a big culmination, and as you can see, I'm on there. We got the Spectacle Bear, we got the Monocle Bear, we got the Goblin Bird, we got the Devil, Dante, the Ruler of Hell and Beyond. We've got the Barefoot Messiah. And I told you we were going to hear a little more from the Barefoot Messiah. And this was the second part of what we showed in our last episode. And it was very revealing.
Now, when we met, we had an agreement, and I expected you to fulfill your end of the bargain to the fullest. I gave you what you asked for. You are the most recognized Spectacle Bear in all of Wanniverse. There's a bar named after you. They're selling t-shirts, tote bags with your face on them. Now I need you to keep your shoes in line. Make sure my followers stay pleasantly convinced and devoted to my plan, the plan, to make sure nothing else is lost again.
Barefoot Messiah, may I have a word below?
God damn it, Frank! Fine. Monskill Bear, we'll finish this shit later. What is it, Frank?
Well, me lord, I'm just a bit worried about the plan. As mysterious as Norland is, and as much faith as I have in my Barefoot Messiah, I must say, an army of foot soldiers carrying firearms into the city of Enigma could have, well, predictably tragic consequences. Are we the good guys here?
Frank, let me tell you a story. A story about a man who found himself responsible for sewing the fragments of this society together. Now, this is before Dartoon teamed up with the Space Raccoons. Since I can remember, my family ran Normiland Lost and Found, a nonprofit dedicated to picking up the lost clues and filling the potholes left behind by Normiland mysteries. Yes, this is Normiland Lost and Found. Well, where did you last see the shoe? Okay, great. Sounds like you found it. Happy to help. Excuse me, what are you two doing here?
We're here to arrest the owner of this operation.
That would be me.
You're under arrest.
This is an outrage. This is a travesty.
There's one sewer detective in this town, and that's sewer detective Steve Germany. You're being arrested under vigilante sewer detective detectiving.
They would arrest me, release me. I would start up the Lost and Found again, and they'd arrest me again. And again, and again, and again. Each time, Steve Germany would not acknowledge me, not once. Here I was, the man who actually, in finding Normiland's lost shoes, the man would come and not even recognize me. The irony. Did he not know that I existed? Did he even realize that our past and our futures were linked? Frank, my past with Steve Germany goes back further than you can even know. What I can tell you right now is he lives because I'm merciful. The 15 times they brought me in, I didn't even want to go home. I had given up. There was no point of being free when there was no place I'd rather be. So I stayed in that cell, and I learned from the lost citizens of Noriland. I don't know how much time passed. Days, months, years. Rakuanon and the Trash Force were disbanded, and Darton III became the savior of the Wanderers. Many loyal Darton followers passed through the Noriland cells, and I listened to their stories about the savior and his vague theories. All the Noriland PD had left the station for the trial of Darton, and I was left all alone. And then, Frank, it happened.
The ground is shaking. The elders are splitting in two.
Suddenly, I had everything that I needed to restore order where there was chaos. To create utopias where Steve Germany had destroyed our lives. So, you should be grateful that I stole Utopian so I could give you life.
Are we the good guys here?
Yes, we're the good guys. Now, get back to work.
Yes, sir.
Jeez.
Well, what do you do when you're terrified of somebody who has a relatable origin story that actually makes them appear to be slightly less evil when a character that's been on the show for a really long time, Steve Germany, actually looks like kind of a villain? Euphony of the Month notices that Wilco has a song called Impossible Germany, Unlikely Japan. I'm sure that wasn't a point of reference that anybody involved with making these little animations might have borrowed from Euphony of the Month. You're clever. You're very clever. But yeah, sometimes we gotta dance through the fear. But we don't have time to dance. We gotta get down to other stuff. We got other stuff. Like I got one last question for you tonight. At least tonight, I have one more question for you. What would your lifetime Halloween costume be? Like if you had to wear a Halloween costume every day for the rest of your life, but you could only choose one, what would you choose? For me, because I am a child and a schmuck, I would definitely be Super Mario. Absolutely would be Super Mario, like for sure. I'm not at all gothic in my tastes, okay? Not at all. I'm not even really into scary shit because I get scared very easily and have a very weak stomach, though I do love The Exorcist because it's a great movie. I would absolutely wear a red shirt, a red hat, and blue overalls for the rest of my life, and a fake mustache because there is no way I could grow one as awesome as Mario. But I absolutely would be Super Mario if I could only be one thing for the rest of my life. So mull that over. I want you to think about that. Give that some real thought. We are getting kind of, Sexual Core says, I'd be Jesus and open an abortion clinic. It would be very entertaining for me. That would be entertaining for me too, Sexual Core. Thank you. So another thing that I did during the break, just while we're talking about art shit, one of my birthday gifts from my very sick fiance, Better Kitty Meow, was a trip to the interactive Van Gogh exhibit in Seattle, and it was really cool. It was a little funny because it's just prints of Van Gogh stuff and a few cool like interactive exhibits. Like that's cool. Good Good on you. Good job, multimedia artists. And I was like, oh, wow, that's pretty cool. And then it's like exhibit with an arrow. And then you get to this giant room where all of Van Gogh's works are projected and become interactive multimedia shit. And as you've seen, I'm working on some multimedia design work of my own. It was absolutely stunning. Seriously, if you're local, definitely go. When I was in there, it felt like that is like the future of getting younger people who are like, you know, like have grown up with TikTok and Instagram and stuff. That is how you get people involved in old art. Not to say that they couldn't just appreciate a painting, but wow, what a presentation. If you're not local, check out the website. I don't have it for you, but if you go Van Gogh Interactive Exhibit, Van Gogh Exhibit Seattle, it'll come up. Or look up people's videos of it on TikTok or Instagram and get hella jealous. It was very, very inspiring. Euphony of the Month says, oh yeah, that room is awesome. My wife and I checked that out. It was absolutely incredible. Really, really powerful way of storytelling. I loved it. Alex Evan V says, I would be a blue M&M. So if Alex Evan V could be one Halloween costume for her entire life, she would be a blue M&M. Interesting, cousin. Interesting. So sexual corn would be Jesus, an open abortion clinic. I'd be Super Mario. Alex F&V would be a blue M&M. Dartone the Third says, I would be Wolverine. No, Batman. No, Wolverine, because I am an badass. Okay, sorry. I understand now. All right. Well, it's while we have these inspirations tickling our ivories that we finally get to the auto write. Yes, friends, the auto write. It is time for the auto write. And what is an auto write? Well, for the first time in 3 weeks, we're doing one right now. It's how we close out every episode of Find Your Weird and Weird at Night. And basically, I count back from 10 as I do. Just try to clear your mind as best you can. When I get to 1, I'm going to say go. And when I say go, we all start tippity typing whatever comes into our minds. And then after about 30 or 45 seconds, I'll say stop. Well, I'll hit enter return on the keyboard. And everybody's auto write will show up in the chat. And I'll read them out loud. And then we're going to get the hell out of here. And we'll go raid somebody who's doing something cool. And it'll be a good time. It'll be a good time. And then we'll be back here for the first live episode of Weird at Night in 3 weeks on April 1st, April Fool's Day, the return of Weird at Night, a very, very appropriate setting. So one more time, real quick, I'm going to count back from 10, try to clear your mind. When I get to 1, I say go. When I say go, just type whatever comes into your mind. It doesn't have to make sense. It probably wouldn't if you're really clear-headed. And then after about 30 or 45 seconds, I say stop. We all hit enter return. Everybody's auto write shows up. We read them out loud, and then we get the hell out of here. Okay? Let's do it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go! Start typing. Okay, everybody, stop. Go ahead and hit enter return on your keyboard. I will start reading mine as we wait for more to come in. would be remiss if I didn't read Euphony of the Month's Halloween costume. First thing that comes to mind is a hot dog costume. Not sure why though. Euphony, I know what you look like. I think you in a hot dog costume, that's a winning combination. All right, here's mine. Wow, I feel out of practice getting clear, but that's okay because it's been 3 weeks, and it's also been 3 weeks since my pet shark kissed my dog on the nose. It's Nosferatu that I love. I love that glare of their eyes and the fangs the most. I love the moistened towelette that is the music of Nickelback as well. It's like a fresh breeze of mediocrity splashing on my face. Also, Sum 41. Okay, stop. That was mine. Good job, me. Alex F&V, you don't even know where the red fern grows, but I can tell you the rainbow fish at like 7 hot dogs at a barbecue, and I was mad about it because I wanted one. The whole plate, man? Really? Anyway, I've got shoes coming out of my ears and goblins in my toes, and it's a wonderful day in my neighborhood because Mr. Rogers lives in a giant bucket, and Tuesday came and I didn't bring my coat, but that's okay. Everything is fine when you have a pool noodle for a hat, and I do. Frog tits. Wow, Alex F&V, incredible stuff. Sexual corn. It was the end of the middle of May, but still March in the 28th, because time is silly and I'm a small granule of silica, containing a drop of water on an asteroid bound for another planet, carrying enough energy on impact to synthesize an amino acid. And maybe it has more water and just the right heat that someday I will be a lump of mossy cheese that squeaks out, strings of thoughts firing like fungus between trees. Sometime in the middle of May. I am March until it is April. Fantastic, Sexual Corn. Incredible. Naomi, Baomi, Faomi. My subconscious is doing that mostly wordless thing again. Well, friend, I understand. And thank you for your honesty. Very much appreciated. Dartone the Third. I was being a badass, kicking ass and taking names. No, I wasn't. I was listening to my friends. Just try to act like a superhero, but I'm just an open ear. Wow. Dartone the Third then says, frog tits shirt, we need it weird at night. Alex FMV says, ha ha ha. Well, I hope you've had a bit of ha 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 tonight, friends, because I sure have. It's been great to be back with you. And like I said, Weird at Night returns this Saturday. A little less video, a little more community interaction. We're going to talk more about the things we show on the show. And we want to cast as wide a net as we possibly can, as many artists, and we have shown hundreds of musicians, hundreds of visual artists, hundreds of history bits on this show. As much as we've shown, we have so much more to catch up with. I want to catch up with the Northwest music scene again and the worldwide scene at large. Make sure you go to weirdandnight.com, go click on submissions and tell us what you're up to. Tell your friends to tell us what they're up to, because we would love to show their work, share in their work, revel in the creativity, discuss the creative process. And if you're an artist that we're showing on the show, it'd be awesome to have you in the chat so I can ask you some questions. You can interact with the little community here. It's going to be awesome. We're getting back to our roots just a little bit, but this has been a damn good time. I'm Patrick Galactic. We are Weird at Night. This has been Find Your Weird. I'll see you this Saturday at 10 p.m. Pacific. And until then, we're out, this motherfucker. But we'll be rating somebody in just a few minutes. Bye-bye.